Kansas City is home to thousands of different species of plants and wildlife, some of which you may have never even heard of. The area has plenty of raccoons, opossums, foxes, coyotes, bats, deer, squirrels, and rabbits. These species are prevalent enough that they are common sightings for local citizens and often get labeled as nuisances. Despite being seen as the poster child of human-wildlife conflict, these species play important roles in maintaining the environment we all live in. For example, a single opossum is responsible for eating up to 5,000 ticks in a single season. They are also immune to venomous snakes and have a body temperature too low to act as a host for rabies. Rather than killing nuisance animals found on your property, you can take steps to prevent them from making your home theirs. Some preventative measures that you can take in your own homes include eliminating food sources, sealing points of entry, utilizing repellents, and seeking the advice of a professional. In addition to these commonly seen species, Kansas City is also home to a small population of American bison and elk, which can be found at the native hooved animal enclosure in the Jackson County Park. These native species once roamed the area in large herds, however, are now considered ecologically extinct. Other species found within Kansas City that aren't so well known but still play important ecological roles are Mead's milkweed, ear-leaved false foxglove, downy gentian, the golden northern bumblebee, the rusty-patched bumblebee, the regal fritillary butterfly, and both the western and eastern narrow-mouthed toad. Mead's milkweed was once widely distributed throughout the tallgrass prairies of the United States. Today, these plants are listed as federally threatened and can mainly be found only in northeastern Kansas and northwestern Missouri, right around the Kansas City area. The main threat impacting Mead's milkweed is habitat destruction from agriculture, residential, and commercial development. Ear-leafed false foxglove was also once abundant across much of the United States. Today, their numbers are much smaller. However, some of the largest populations of ear-leafed false foxglove can be found in Missouri. This plant requires some sort of soil disturbance for seed germination. In the past, it is believed that the disturbance responsible for its seed germination was caused by herds of bison. Today, this is no longer possible, and so the plants now rely on mounds of dirt created by small mammals such as gophers and moles. Downy gentian is a beautiful and vibrant native Missouri flower. While it is not a common species, it is widely distributed across the state and can be found in upland prairies and glades within the Kansas City area. This flower blooms from September to November and is primarily pollinated by bumblebees. The golden northern bumblebee is a fairly large species of bumblebee recognizable by its fuzzy yellow abdomen, which is broken up by a single black stripe, as well as its all-black wings and head. Like all bumblebees, this insect contains pollen baskets, or open pouches, on their hind legs, which aid in pollen collection. The species has been seeing significant declines in population numbers over the past 100 years and are now listed as vulnerable by the IUCN. A similar species, the rusty-patched bumblebee, can be identified by its small, rusty-colored patch of fuzz located on the middle of its second abdominal segment. Like all bumblebees, the rusty-patched bumblebee has the ability to buzz pollinate, or pollinate using vibration. This makes them important pollinators for crops such as blueberries, cranberries, tomatoes, and clover. Sadly, the species has declined by over 87% within just the last 20 years. It is likely now only present in about 0.1% of its historical range, which once covered the majority of North America. Kansas City citizens can help protect and conserve native bumblebee species such as the golden northern and rusty-patched bumblebees by planting patches of native wildflowers in their yards and gardens, and by providing nesting habitats such as the one pictured. You can also support these species by limiting the use of pesticides and chemical fertilizers in your outside spaces. The regal fritillary butterfly is a large, silver-spotted, orange and black butterfly native to the tallgrass prairies of Missouri and Kansas. Due to the destruction of prairies and the subsequent dwindling of their habitat, this species' population numbers are in decline. They are currently federally listed as concerned. However, two of the largest populations of regal fritillary butterflies can be found just south of Kansas City. You can help conserve this butterfly species by planting violets, which are their main source of food when in larval form. The western and eastern narrow-mouthed toads can both be found in Kansas City. They can be distinguished from each other by pigment, markings, and call. Both have a plump body, small pointed head, and a fold of skin behind the eyes. The western narrow-mouthed toad is uniform in color and ranges from olive green to tan. Its call sounds similar to the buzz of a bee and lasts between 1 and 4 seconds. The eastern narrow-mouthed toad is tan, brown, gray, or reddish-brown. The back has a pattern that looks like a long, dark wedge pointing towards the head. The wedge is bordered by a wide stripe of a lighter color that runs along the side. Below that is a dark stripe running from the snout to the side of its hind legs. Its call sounds similar to the bleat of a lamb. Both species burrow underground, spending most of their time in loose, damp soil under flat rocks, logs, boards, or other objects. They prefer habitats where shelter and moist soil are available, usually in the vicinity of ponds, swamps, and streams, or near some large river floodplains. Narrow-mouthed toads are predators that help keep populations of ants and other insects in balance. They, and especially their eggs, tadpoles, and young toadlets, become food for both aquatic and terrestrial predators. Both of these species currently have stable populations. Kansas City is home to so many wonderful and unique species. To learn more and get involved in local conservation efforts, you can visit wildlife information centers such as Lakeside Nature Center or Burr Oaks Woods Conservation Area, or check out more at the Missouri or Kansas Department of Conservation websites. You can also volunteer at one of the many events held by Kansas City Wildlands.